Okay.
Well, 30 seconds. How's it going again, guys? Another Monday streaming of the Power of Ownership podcast. We got the full panel going. We're gonna go ahead with the introductions. We're gonna wait till a couple people get in here. I see we got 4 already, 5. Let's keep on coming. Go ahead and share the link, guys. Share the link. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and share the link here in the comments, our private chat. So actually I'm gonna text it to you, David. That way you can share it to your actual.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and share that while we're live. And I'm texting it to you right now. Actually, let me just text it to you personally. And then we'll go from there. So hold on 1 second. We struggle streaming. While I'm getting that going, y'all want to go ahead with the introductions? Dunbar, you want to start, then Barry, then David, and then I'll circle back to me.
That's fine. Happy Monday. It's Houston's own Brandon Dunbar here again on another beautiful Monday. If you need to book a consultation, you can just go to my website, Dunbar Did It. That is DUNBARDIDIT.com. Also, number is 281-309-4151. Call me anytime if it's real estate related.
Gotcha. And this for those this is his website, DunbarDidIt.com. And then you could Google Brandon Dunbar Realtor. Barry B, I got you up and loaded. Let's go ahead. Go ahead with the introduction.
Hey, Happy New Year. This is Barry B with Homes by Barry B. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Houston and surrounding areas, you go to homesbybarryb.com or you can Google Homes by Barry B. And I'm on all platforms. You can text me, call me, send me a message, send me a whatever, and let's get 2026 started off right.
Yep, this is the first show of 2026, so we're trying to upgrade, get a couple of more followers, and so if you like our content, tell a friend to tell a friend. David, I got you the new addition to our panel. Let's go ahead and get you started. You can work your banners here now yourself. So
I can't. I don't know how, since you made me an admin, but yeah.
Right.
So my name is David Youngs, branch manager, mortgage advisor with Nexa Lending and the Infinite team. Applywithdavidyoungs.com is my website for applying with me if you want to start an application. Though I will say that is not the first place I want to send you to. Keep going if you would, Mr. Brandon. Go to my website, infinitehometeam.com. Learn more about me and my team and what we do there that makes us stand apart from the rest of the mortgage industry. Do one more for me. At David R. Youngs is my handle for most of my platforms if you want to follow me online. Keep going. There's my NMLS number, so I'm legal. I'm an OG licensed, one of the first licensed MLS numbers that exist. Keep going. And if you, one more back. Yeah, this really is the one you want. .cards/David Youngs is where you can go to actually download my contact info, which will allow you to follow me on all social media channels, find my website, find my application. Everything we just shared is in one place right there. So, and if you do want to watch any of these recordings or what we're doing on YouTube, this is where you can go find it as well. YouTube.com @Infinite Home Team. So that's me.
And usually I go first, but I'm going last on this. We struggle streaming at first, so that gives the people a chance to get in. So again, my name is Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210 at Billionaire Loan, also on all social media. If you want to apply for a mortgage or book me for a consultation, go to www.applywithb.com. You can contact me 24/7 as long as it's about business. I will answer the phone, 832-775-8357. Oh, yeah. I'm available 24/7. Actually, at Being That Loan also on all social media. Like, subscribe. Please tell a friend to tell a friend if you like our content. And last but not least, go to my website, www.brandonbdixon.com. I just joined Action Realty, so that is all live now. So we have I'm on both sides. I'm on the realty side and the loan officer side. For the last, this is going my 10th year right now. So 2016 is when I originally got my NMLS. So year, a decade strong in lending. Oh, one other thing. We Love Frenchies.com is launching this year. So I that is one of my passions as well. One of my other businesses, Boutique Bulls, is the name of my kennel. So you're going to see a lot of my dogs, my bloodline, and we're going to roll from there. But man, before we get started, I just wanted to kind of thank all the customers that actually, the people with my clients that actually let me serve them for the last 10 years. I'm blessed to be 10 years strong in the game. I know I kind of took a year sabbatical, but I'm back, full time in this. And I just like to thank everybody, and I'm wishing everybody have a great new year this year. And we're hoping to have some great content this year. We're going to try to improve on it. We're trying to make improvements. We're going to, dump a little bit of money into it this time. I know I've been saying that for years and years, but this time I think we're going to be serious. Dump a little bit of money to it, and we're going to try to, keep leading the pack.
We just need support. We just need this good quality team behind us, and we can we can create a lot of good content that's going to help families grow.
Right. And I think this year, like I said, I think this year is going to be a bounce back year for 2026. I want to, before we get into the clips, I want to open the table up, and I know this is right on the spot. What do y'all think the outlooks of our business is going to be for this year? What do you think the differences between last year and this year are going to be? Just a quick 30 seconds. Not a diatribe or anything like that, but quick. Synopsis? What do you think? So Dunbar, you want we like to go?
Yeah, that's fine. I think that regardless of, I think it'll be a very steady year like it was a couple years ago. It's all about getting used to the climate. Even if interest rates don't go down a percentage or 0.5% or 1/4%, people still need homes. And now we'll be able to, if they do go down, we'll be able to, people will be able to reap those benefits. But if they do go down, they'll reap the benefits. If it doesn't go down, they'll be used to these prices and these interest rates. So I think regardless, is people need homes, and I think that it will be a steady year.
Right. Barry.
Kind of on the same note, I like that word he used, steady, because I don't think it's going to be like, yay, this is the greatest year ever, and I don't think it's going to be this explosion that some people have been saying for the last 6-7 years. Is going to drop. The sky's falling. People that's been saying the same thing for the past 7 years,
right? Because
you got these new systems coming in, especially with AI and everything. So I think it's going to be steady. Especially if the interest rates come down, or when they come down. But I think it's going to be. I like that word, steady.
Right.
I think it's going to be steady.
David, what you got?
Yeah, I'm surprised actually, Brandon. You don't have a video on this yet. You found, but we'll have to do that on another one of these.
A little bit. Nothing. Nobody really. I got polarized. You'll see what I got. Hey, what some people think is gonna be tough, and some people gonna think it's gonna be great. Yeah, yep. Y'all got to stay tuned. We got some.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I've seen a couple videos floating around, and I actually just looked it up real quick because anytime you ask these questions, I like to just throw in like what does Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever say too. And there's this term floating around called the Great Housing Reset of 2026. So the media is trying to push like, oh yeah, 2026 is going to be this amazing year. It's going to be incredible. I don't think so. To your guys' point, I think it's going to be steady. I think it's going to be an increase. They're saying 2 to 4% nationally, increasing in growth. But I mean, 2 to 4% is not a lot. It's minimal. But I think in general, with interest rates holding or staying lower, maybe even coming down a little bit, combined with the fact that more people are getting used to this point. I think you said that, Dunbar, like people are getting kind of used to the market, and they're kind of like, okay, well, this is what it is. Like, these are the prices, these are the rates.
Right.
Eventually, they're going to have to sell, and they're going to have to buy whichever side they're on. So I think in general, we're going to see better results, and we're seeing a lot of professionals leaving the business too. So because people are leaving the industry, there's more opportunity for us in the industry as professionals to set ourselves apart as the true experts that can guide and help these families too. So we may see growth in our businesses while we simultaneously help more families. Gotcha.
My opinion is this: I think we're going to see a slight increase. I think we're going to see an uptick in refis, and I think we're going to see an uptick in first-time home buyers. And the reason why I say that is because it's supposed to be the record amount this year of income tax returns people going to get. And that, and I think coupled with the $2,000 stimulus from the tariff supposed to drop as well this year. So I think anytime there's money or a surplus of money floating in the economy, people want to buy houses. So, and I think that, as well as I think the interest rate's going to tick back to 5.5. I think it's going to be around in the mid fives, what it was back in 17 and 16. I think that's going to be, I think that's where it's going to be. I think it's going to be in the fives, and us as brokers probably be low fives. And I think that's going to be the stimulus. That's going to be enough chum, they say, that the lower the sharks in, enough blood in the water for to stimulate people to come in. And so I think it's going to be a slight uptick. I don't think it's like Barry said, I don't think it's going to be a boom, but I think it's going to be a better uptick than it was 25 because people are used to, like Dunbar said, people are starting to get used to it. So any slight improvement is a relief. The money floating around, then coupled with a slight receding of the interest rate, I think people are going to come in. So let's see. I'm optimistic. But let's see.
There's nothing wrong with optimism, though. Even if it doesn't go that way, let's hope. Let's plan.
Where'd you hear that the income tax refund was going to be higher?
A couple of different sources. A couple of different sources. I think USA Today was one of them. I think Apple News was another one that I said it's supposed to be a record year as far as income tax returns because of the tax cuts, because of
income tax returns or income tax refunds.
Returns, like refunds, refund checks.
Oh, okay.
The amount of dollars that they're getting back.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's going to put a lot of first-time home buyers in. I think, and I would add another nugget, and we're going to talk about this later on in the stream. I think landlords are crippling the rental market. So damn near you might as well get a house. They're forcing people to get a house. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get it started. And what we're going to do is, please, I see a couple of people like the video. That's great. Like the video, thumbs up the video, please, guys. And then secondly, please comment. That helps us with the algorithm. And we'll read the comment live. We'll all answer whatever you want to know about real estate. You got a scenario? Shoot us anything. We'll answer. Let's go ahead with the first clip without further ado. All right, can everybody see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll.
But here are 5 things I would never do in real estate. And if you're doing any of these, you're not investing, you're actually gambling with your life. Number 1, I would never buy a deal just because I'm tired of waiting. Being impatient is one of the main reasons why most people go broke. You'll buy out of loneliness, frustration, ego, and then you'll blame the market. I don't care how long it takes. If the numbers don't make sense, I'm not touching it. You make your money on the buy, not the emotions. Number 2, I would never hire a contractor that I did not personally vet. Some of you guys hire people just because they seem cool. Cool does not pass inspections. Cool doesn't understand plumbing code. Cool will have you hiring somebody for $25,000 that will turn that rehab into a $60,000 disaster. Licenses, references, track records. If they can't produce receipts, I'm telling you now, run the other way. Number 3, I would never buy in a market just because it's trending online. So many of you will fall in love with buzzwords, but you don't even understand the laws, eviction timelines, or the taxes in your own city. You can't copy someone else's success. Success comes from you studying your own backyard, your market, your own numbers. Number 4, I would never depend on Section 8 being guaranteed income. I say this as someone with about 55% of my tenants on housing programs. It is not guaranteed. If that inspection fails, if that letter never arrives, if that caseworker switches, your mortgage is still due. Section 8 is a tool, and if you don't know how to work that system is going to work you. And number 5, I would never invest in anything that I don't understand completely. Some of you buy properties and don't even know the ARV. You start doing the demo and don't even have a budget. You buy rentals with no rent roll research. You're hoping for success when you should be calculating it. Hope is not a strategy, knowledge is. I know some of what I said hit a nerve, and that's good. That means that some of you are awake. I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. I'm here to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that I did when I didn't know any better. If this made you mad, sit with it. If this made you think, apply it. And if this made you uncomfortable, that means you growing. Comment below, share with me your thoughts.
Hold on one second.
2 and 5 were basically the same thing on there that he said. One about knowing your numbers and don't go by emotion, and then they don't understand the market. They don't understand what they're doing. That's kind of basically the same. But yeah, you definitely need to you got to get in and learn. And I like that part about it. You got to learn the market, learn the process. You got to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the good things, I guess, good things and bad things, you will lose money, but you learning. You learn you learn the process and the steps. And when he talked about like don't, no emotion, but most investors aren't going by emotion though. That's mostly first time buyers is going by emotion.
Right. I don't know. Some investors,
most investors, they looking straight for the money.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go this way and then Dunbar, let's go into counterclockwise so we could I know I was WhatsApp is a little bit different, so I was making sure I hit it mute. So it's a little bit different than Instagram. So again, we struggle streaming from the get-go. All right, so let's go over what he's talking about. Mainly this is for investors, and a lot of times it's for intramural investors, that's new investors. I disagree. I think a lot of investors, especially new investors, they still think it's theirs. They look at it as if they were going to buy it for themselves. They even he mentioned in there even look at a market that they have no research on just because it feels is emotional. I like Atlanta, so I want to invest in Atlanta. But did you do your research on Atlanta? So a lot of investors do that. A lot of people buy second houses in a market, or even I get a lot of times, and David probably has as well. People buy second homes, and just because the beachfront, or we get a lot of beach. I think Minnesota is like a lot of lakes, right?
We 13,000 lakes. Not a lot of beachfront, but yeah, lake homes.
Lake homes. So we're on the coast here in Houston, right next to Galveston. A lot of people buy in Galveston. What is it? Lake Conroe. There's another San Palaca, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, Dunbar?
I know. I do not. I don't know that one, but I know Lake Livingston is another popular one.
Right. it's Saint something, but that's not Lake something, but it's another hub for like summertime homes, and a lot of people hadn't done any research on these second homes.
Like Padre Island?
No, not it's something else. I've done like 3 or 4 houses
Right.
back there, and it always comes out appraised wrong, his value wrong.
Can
You
I
know?
say too, Brandon? To your point, I think people are buying emotionally as investors because they like the emotional appeal of being an investor.
Right.
I'm an investor. I want to get into the investing game. I hear that's where all the money is in real estate. So I'm going to go buy a property and I'm going to do this and this. And my buddy's a contractor and we can go fix it up. And they
Right.
get emotionally tied to the investing model.
Right.
And that's exactly what I think this guy is saying. I think you can sum up the 5 points, honestly, in one thing.
Right.
Do your research. Like all the things we're talking about, like people are just like, oh yeah, it's no problem. Like I can do this easy. I saw it on YouTube. I saw it on whatever. And like, I'm going to go do this, but
HGTV.
Exactly. But so they make this emotional decision without any preparation. So just his point is do your research and understand how this stuff works. Even if you're like, oh yeah, Section 8 housing, I'm going to get guaranteed income. Like that's not exactly how it works.
Right.
Go do the research, make sure you understand it, and then you'll make a better informed decision so you don't get blindsided by this later.
Right. And to your point, what I was saying, I like what he said at the end, hope is not a business plan. That's, a lot of people hope for the best and think there's no way that you could fail. Like, yeah, there are things called a money pit. That's what the term originated for. It's some houses could be a money pit where you don't have enough to finish the deal and you put all your money into it and you can't complete it because it's a never-ending bill. So yeah, it looks cool. I mean, the house flippers on HGTV looks cool. These Instagram influencers make it look cool. However, it's a lot that goes into it. I know we want the get rich quick, but if it was that easy to get rich in real estate, everybody would be rich at that point. Now you can do it, but it takes a lot of research, a lot of pounding the pavement, a lot of calculating, and it takes a lot of patience. And you might lose some. Everything ain't guaranteed to be in the red. I mean, to be in the black. Sometimes you run in the red. So that would be, so the people that's listening, don't hire your buddies like David said. Don't invest emotionally and don't go in without a game plan. That's a couple of things never to do in real estate. Dunbar, y'all want to add to that, or David?
I just got one quick thing. I think everything that he said could be summed up, and in my opinion, to seek counsel and have a good team of professionals, whether you are a mid-level, low-level, first investment, 1,000 investment, have people that have tools to get you accurate numbers and accurate information, and use them, and don't be afraid to use them. You might have to pay them, but don't be afraid to use them, because they definitely will not. They don't give you empirical data. They don't give you numbers.
Yeah, so, build your sphere. You're saying, like, build your network so you have these people ahead of time, so you know who they are and who you need to bring in, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but even if you vet these folks. Vet the folks that are giving you this information, because you might have somebody that for X amount of years, and they might just want to get a sale. So, but also, sure, I think I mentioned this with the bird. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago or last week. Yeah, you have to seek counsel, and you can't use the internet, and you can't use your own logic to come up with a good deal.
Right. David, anything you want to add before we go to the next clip on that? 5 things never to do in real estate. What would the key takeaway? What would you never do in real estate?
If it was me personally, and I'm being biased here because I'm a licensed mortgage professional, that's my point to this thing. I would say whatever you're doing, what's your financing strategy with this whole thing too? And that's a point that I think he missed or didn't touch on necessarily, not missed. Maybe he has another video on this, but financing strategy is important because what's your exit plan? Because some people buy and hold, some people buy and flip. There's two different strategies there. Either strategy, how are you going to get into the property? And then how are you going to get out of the property to then go buy the next one? Because if your plan is to go build a real estate empire and you don't want to do just one, you want to do 5, 10, 50, 100, you need financing strategy to do this. Right. Unless you're just, rolling in multiple millions upon millions of dollars and you're just ready to go in cash and you have all the money in the world to throw at this thing. But I'm going to argue that's very, very few people that would ever see this. So have a financing strategy in place day one. If you're a new investor or an experienced investor and you're thinking about your next one, have that consultation with a good professional that understands fix and flips, investors, cash flow, like all these things that come into play that could impact your decision of which property you buy, how you buy it, how much you finance, how much you take out, how much you put down, the tax strategy behind this, 1031 exchanges. I mean, there's so many things that could come into this, right?
Right.
So have a good
professional. All of us are not created equal. Right. And just to wrap up what David said, all loan officers are not created equal. Just because you're licensed in the business, that doesn't mean that you're adept at this type of information. Some loan officers specialize in first-time home buyer. Some specialize in just FHA. Some, this is a whole different ball game as far as knowing P&L loans, knowing these exotic programs, because they change more often than the traditional loans. Mm-hmm. So you got to have somebody that's versed in this as far as a broker, that has a variety of banks, and nobody has bigger banks than Nexa. Shameless plug. Nobody has a bigger roster than Nexa, and that has the opportunity or the capability to custom tailor your particular program for what you want, your goals, and what you got going. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer as far as I like what David said. You got to have a strategy as far as finance, because that can make or break you. Mm-hmm. So let's go into the next one without further ado. Oh, before we get to that, I kept wanting to say, last week, and I kept forgetting. Between there, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and give us some questions, please. All right, so let's go to this next one here.
Agents are about to get so rich in 2026. I mean, it ain't going to be funny. They ain't going to be able to see straight, right? I'm talking about printing money, like embarrassing amounts of money, and not all agents, by the way, to make that super clear. I'm going to tell you what's about to happen this year. Right now, number one, everyone says home sales are going to jump up from the bottom, from the 40-year lows in 2026. Fannie Mae, Redfin, NAR, all of them, right? Because they read and understand the market. Anybody that understands the market understands we're going to have a good 10% jump. That's about 500,000 more transactions this year than we had last year. But here's the catch. At the same time, 30% of agents are leaving the business. 71% of agents do not have a single listing right now. They've been hibernating. So you got 400,000 fewer agents, 500,000 more deals to get divided up, right? Imagine that. And home sales aren't going to jump. We're at a 3-year high right now going into this next year, right? A 3-year high with demand, mortgage applications, pending deals. So all that business, it's going to go to like the top 25%. This is literally the easiest setup in history for agents. And the funniest part about it is the agents making the most money are going to be working the least. They're not prospecting, cold calling, buying leads. They're just answering their phone and taking orders like a drive-through because of all the work. They didn't slow down when the market slowed down. That's the secret, right? They kept grinding through the worst market for agents in history to keep building their business. And now you about to get a bag, baby. And 2026 is going to be really awkward, by the way, at real estate conferences, because half the agents are going to be like, I'm having my best year ever. And the other half's going to be like, yep, I'm actually leaving the industry, and they're both going to be standing in the same room talking about the same market. So the question that, like, you're either going to have your best year ever this year by leaps and bounds, or you're going to be watching from another industry. Which one are you going to be? This is real talk. Tell me what I'm saying isn't true. Like, show me. Don't just say it. Like, tell me why. Because it's time to eat, baby, but you got to be hungry. Happy New Year's. Let's get it.
Bam. What do y'all think? Is he gaslighting, or is there some truth to what he's saying? You know, so is this the way is it time to get rich in 26?
I think the realtor should go first here.
Yeah, so Dunbar, I'll let you go. Well, I'm technically a realtor as well. So I'm on accident realtor.
Yeah. Like I said, it's gonna be steady. I don't feel like it's gonna be. I mean, and when I say steady is a good thing, it's not, because if you have a steady business, if you think about it, what I'm saying is that you never have to worry about where the next client is coming from. You have one client after the other client, and you're able to do that. I don't know about. I hope so. His numbers and your numbers. You said 2%. He said 5-6%. As far as like buyers in the market, I guess, or real estate.
10%, didn't he?
Oh, he said 10%, right? So, I mean, it depends on his numbers and his, where he get his information from. But I do feel like it's going to be a steady year.
Right, but the thing is, he's saying that it's going to be a record year because so many people leaving the business, so that those clients are going to be popping up, and either or, like you said at the beginning, a good portion has been hibernating, including myself. 2045, I was kind of looking at, all right, some of my pet projects, like how can I, make those pop? So I kind of knew real estate was going to kind of be dormant. So now I have to rev up. So the people that was already revving up, they're going to hit their stride in 2026. I think that's the point of, if you didn't take the year off in 2025 and you got all that momentum, I think it's going to propel you to one of the best years, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Skeptical.
I mean, it goes back to the the steady thing. And didn't we talk about not last week, but the week before, about how AI and all these people won't be using agents? They don't have to use agents. So if you got all these agents leaving, but you got people that's buying homes, and y'all was saying, hey, they're gonna be buying homes, they don't need an agent. So these 300 or 400 that's supposed to be leaving, is that even gonna matter?
David, I'll let you go at it. I know you're not on the real estate. On the realtor side.
I'm not, but I have a lot of opinions on this. Right. So, first of all, Ricky Carruth, by the way, even though I'm not in real estate, I follow him. He's an amazing. Right. He has a Zero to Diamond podcast. He has an incredible. If you're not following him already, by the way, just a plug for him. Right. He is good. Which, by the way, we're trying to plug those that we're watching here for following them as well on their content, because we want to help their algorithms too. So. Ricky is an incredible real estate coach. He has so many good ideas, so many good visions. But I want to point out, he made the comment in the middle of the video of, you're going to have people in the same room, kind of what we're doing right now, exactly, saying the market sucks or the market's great, depending on your attitude and your circumstances. So I think honestly, that's what we were talking about before. The market itself isn't going to change too much. Home values are going to be steady. We're not going to see a lot of growth. We're not going to see a whole lot more stuff happening. Rates might come down a little, but they're not going to come down into the 3s like they were, or the 2s. They're going to stay up in the 5s, maybe 6s. So nothing's going to change too much, steady. But what's going to change is, Barry, you mentioned all these realtors leaving the industry, AI coming in, taking over, all these things. All these realtors that are leaving expands this wide open opportunity, this playing field for those that are good, that know what they're doing, that are adopting and using technology as their friend, not afraid of it, running scared. but those that are in it and working it, I think, are going to see success. And the more people that leave, great. More for all of us to help more families. Now we can be more focused. Only good professionals are left. The bad ones are leaving. He said over 70%, I think it was 71% of realtors this last year didn't have a listing at all.
Right.
So hopefully a lot of these realtors have left, and then now we can move on to the realtors that know what they're doing professionally and take a different style and approach their clients that turn this into a different experience. And the clients are cared for. We saw the same thing happen leading up in the 2008 recession. Back then, we saw the same thing happen there as well, where everybody all of a sudden left the industry, and then it was a wide open playing field until things started growing again, and things started getting better very quickly with good professionals. So I'm kind of personally, I'm not, it's wrong to say, but I'm kind of happy or excited about this change that's happening here. I think this is a good thing for us. I really do.
Right. It's a reset.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's the it's almost like a fast, like a purging, a detox, so to speak. And I think just in our area, there's 35,000 realtors just in Houston. Is that correct number?
I would have to Google that, but
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, there's 35,000 agents in Houston alone. So yeah, that's way too many. I think it's too saturated. And what happens is a lot of people on the outside looking in, you don't know the difference. Just because I've been in it for 8 years, you don't know that I hadn't had a listing in 3 or 4 years. You don't know that I'm not busy, or I know that you got your reviews and all that, but they don't have a timestamp a lot on these reviews. A lot of reviews that people have on their site, you can be up forever. So you can have good reviews, but are you busy? So that's the issue. David, if you wanted to add, I'm gonna remove my Facebook that's having issues. If you want to add your YouTube, you can. So
if it opens up, I'll do my best.
Yeah, for some reason my Facebook dropped. Yeah, my Facebook dropped for some reason. So yeah, if you want to add that, I'm gonna go ahead to the next clip. Now this is juxtaposed to this particular clip right here. This is the complete opposite.
I got a couple questions.
Sure.
Well, I got one question. What is this AI that y'all talking about that's supposed to be taking realtors' job? What is that like?
Well, that's what I want to kind of disagree with Barry B. I think, yes, you're right. AI will be taking a lot of realtors' job, but I don't think the technology is the platform's built yet. Hoot and Zillow is supposed to make these revolutionary business models, but they're not up yet where people are using them and it's in the mainstream. I give you an example. Hoot was supposed to have this where realtors only get paid like a flat fee, but you're getting all these leads, from people, and AI is most of them. They answer all the questions. All you really got to do is show them the house, and you get paid like $1,300, and you get paid on the loan side. So that was kind of their little niche or hook or whatever. David, you might be a little bit more versed at Hoot than I know. Hoot tried to recruit me, but Hoot was supposed to be some revolutionary platform, and
yeah, that I mean, probably don't want to get too deep in the weeds on that company model,
right?
But I mean, that company model was a very unique focus. It wasn't so much focused on AI. That was a whole different. That AI is a whole separate thing than what they were focused on. But in general, I can comment on like AI in the industry is evolving quickly. As an example, I can upload right now. I can upload a 3.4 Fannie Mae Freddie Mac AUS findings, which is, by the way, for anybody watching, that's what we do when we get an application. We run the whole thing through this computer algorithm. This is what every lender in the country pretty much does, and then it gives us approved or denied. And then with that understanding, we can use that to then go give to lenders and say, hey, we want to underwrite the loan to these guidelines Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, et cetera, has set. So without getting too deep in the weeds on that either, I can take that, upload it into an AI technology like Chat UWM, as an example, one of our partners, United Wholesale Mortgage, or even, you're not supposed to do this, by the way, and I have not, for the record, personally done this, but I know people have. We've been counseled not to. You could upload it into Chat GPT because that's this open to the web. You're not supposed to do that. So if you're watching this and you're an LO, do not do that. You will get in trouble with your compliance team. But in theory, you could. And there are other technologies. In fact, I pay for a platform called Mortgage Currency, not currency, but currency, where I have AI integration there where I can upload it and I can talk to a live underwriter and get feedback and all this stuff too, based on what the AI kicks out and the algorithms behind it. So using AI as your friend to assist you is going to be extremely important to adopt quickly, or you're going to get left behind. But there's so many applications and situations that AI would never be able to read. It would not be able to know questions that you wouldn't even think to ask because it can't know you. The tonality in your voice of how you answer a question that I ask you, which prompts me to ask you 3 more questions that then opens up a can of worms of this other thing over here. You know what I mean? Like AI can't do that. So I think there's a balance here of you have to adopt AI quickly if you're going to survive, but also understand it's not going to completely replace the loan originator. I will argue realtors have a little harder time with this too, though, because you're physically out showing people homes. So that's a little different story. Like how does that play in? So I'll let somebody else speak to the real estate side, but mortgage side, that's my take.
Well, 2 things. This is the rebuttal. Yet is the caveat. Yet.
Yes.
I don't know if people are familiar, but you could set up AI where it speaks to you. And I did it the other day. Hey, I got a client. This is Google him. Boom. This is my Google me with as far as and give me practice questions on and simulate a conversation between us and him drilling me on different questions. And AI doesn't miss a beat. It talks to you as if it was human. And I'm talking about it damn near. I think I need to do a separate show on this. Will people resort to AI as their friends as opposed to real humans? Because it knows you, it knows exactly what you're looking for, and it has more common sense than a lot of humans. Because it's getting to that point. So my argument will be, yes, it's not there yet. However, it's close.
It's coming.
It's close. It's
and,
coming.
And fast. It's not like this is like 10 years away. This is coming quick.
So to answer Barry B's question, I don't think 2026 it will be a huge impact. I think 2030 is a different ball game.
By the way,
to
the video earlier, that is a stat. I think we mentioned this on the last the streaming show. It's estimated still by 2030, over 40% of homes in America will be owned by investors.
Right.
That's the stat.
That's why I'm trending. As you see, I have a lot of investors that watch the show, and then I service a lot of investors. Dunbar as well services a lot of investors. Not that we don't help for first-time home buyers, but we're at the point in our career where I got a little bit. First-time home buyer stuff is very, very easy to me. And I've done it for so long. I'm so versed in it. I teach it. So and I'm versed in, and I'm an expert at, secondary homes and investment homes, and which is a little bit more trickier, because there's several options. There's a lot of people that's in a lot of banks, a lot more banks, should I say, that has these exotic products. Let's get to this next one because we got about 3 more, and we're like at the halfway point. So, bam. I mean, we're making good time. Don't forget, guys, like the video, please. Subscribe and make a comment on it. We'll read it live. My Facebook dropped off, but I put my Twitch on there, so I want to welcome my Twitch audience. I see we got a couple of viewers already. Please share it in Twitch. I know last time I had Twitch, we blew up. I know we had like 100 people sometime last time I had my Twitch audience in there. So let's blow it up tonight. All right, so let's go ahead to the next clip. And can y'all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
26, and here goes. 98% of you are not going to hit your goals. You're not even going to sniff them, and here's why. We do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our values. What am I talking about? Like values? Jeremy, I have great values. I believe in family and God and serving the community and doing good. I believe you. I also believe you when you say you want to earn 300,000 or 500,000 or 100,000. I believe you when you say you want to pay off debt and take your family on a Disney cruise. I believe you. I don't believe you'll actually surrender what you really value, which is comfort. Follow a calendar, follow a schedule, prospect daily, follow up daily. Do this 80% of the time. I'm not talking 100% of the time. And this is why you won't hit your 26, 27, 28, and 29 or 30 goals. You just won't. If realtors could understand the misalignment between their values and their goals and align them, then what would happen is they'd start having the life of their dreams. And here's the crazy part. If you're willing to speak to 50 people every week for the next 30 weeks, you'd be selling 2 to 3 homes a month. Absolutely. 2 to 3 homes a month. If you're really good, you might be selling 4 or 5. 50 people a week. But most realtors don't value that. They value their comfort. So as you approach and waltz into this new year, it's a new year, there's all this new hope. I want you to have a hard come to Jesus conversation with yourself and say, am I willing to take my misaligned values and goals and align them and understand that I've actually valued comfort a lot more than I valued what I say I want. There you go. Realtors, I have
That's a good video. I like that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I did actually. I see part of that video. I didn't watch it entirely. I have to until just now, but yeah, that was nice. I like that. Yeah, a lot of people say your mouth say one thing, but you actually say another thing. I used to say all the time in my daily vlog, and I might bring that back if I get enough demand for it. I used to have a daily vlog called 8 All Positive Energy Daily. And my line that I used to say every day before I got off the air, and it would be a 5 to 10 minute like personal vlog. You know, it's not what you think that you are, not what you say that you are, what you are. Is what you do is who you truly are. And that's true. Your daily actions is what shape you. And a lot of people say that they want all these riches. They say they want to be top dog in real estate. They say they want to be the top loan officer. They say they want to be in the president's club and all this stuff here. But really, you value comfort. You value kicking it with the homies. You value watching TV, playing video games, brain rot, reels, so on and so forth. That's really you. So your actions got to show it. And it does make you smell yourself, because I got so comfortable with making so much money and not having to put a lot of effort. When the market tightened up, I didn't have, I'm used to it just flowing in, and it didn't flow in. So now I got to readjust. Like, all right, I got to put in a couple of things I'm doing for 2026. I'm taking Mike Cordes, who's the CEO of Nexa Mortgage or Nexa Lending. I'm taking his advice, and I'm doing a chat GPT accountability coach. Every morning I'm setting my goals, and this is what I got to do, X, Y, Z. I block off, I need to do at least 30 calls. I need to set up this profile. I need to do this. I need to do the podcast. And at the end of the night, it alarms before I go to bed, like, hey, it won't stop every 5 minutes until I list what I did. And at the end of the night, it gives me a score. Like, hey, you missed this. This is why you missed this, because you don't do this, and you're not mentally tough for this. And, it's real strict. So this keeps me on task. My problem is, and this self-analyzing and being vulnerable, my problem is when I get comfortable, and there's nobody like pushing me, I kind of slack off. It's like almost like you're that tall friend and you slunch down because all your friends are shorter. You play back in football. They used to say you play down in your competition. So once I'm ahead, I kind of, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm good. And I got, That's what I'm readjusting in 2026. I'm realigning my values. If I want to be top dog, I gotta daily do top dog things. And that's my little diatribe. I'll go yield the floor.
I like it.
All right. Anybody? Dunbar?
Yeah.
David, how about you go?
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I got so much stuff. Yeah. I personally feel this is something that everybody struggles with. I don't think anybody's immune. We all enjoy comfort. Like
Right.
all of us enjoy comfort. Like none of us are, like, oh, I want to grind and, work 12 hours, 15 hours a day. And no one wants to do that. Everybody wants to have comfort. So we're all fighting against that tendency. None of us are immune to it. But then my bigger thing for me personally that I'm working on is like, I'm always busy. I mean, like a great example today, I've been in meetings since 10 a.m. this morning till now, and we're 10 o'clock p.m. my time. So 12 hours straight, I've been in Zoom meetings, and I haven't really had a break in between, which I love personally. Like I enjoy this stuff. Like I love meeting new people and having conversations. Like I love this stuff. Like I'm fired up still. Like I could go for another 5 hours and be fine. But is it effective? That's my thing. Is it effective time used? Because that's where I realize that I need to maybe make some improvements. Am I, to your point, Dixon here, am I prospecting, making, blocking off an hour to make 30 calls? Or am I busy all day, but I didn't make a single outbound call? And there's different strategies, right? Like some people are doing different things. Some are out doing, streaming videos like this. Some are doing online content of, their own personal social media. Some are doing one-to-one networking events. Some are doing group networking events. Like there's all kinds of ways to go about this. Webinar presentations, first-time homebuyer presentations, open houses on weekends. There's so many ways to do this. There's no right or wrong answer, but are you busy to be busy or are you busy to be effective? That's kind of my main takeaway, is just making sure that that's my thing for 2026. How can I get more
And I wrote that down. I wrote that down from when you first said it, being effective versus being busy.
Yes.
Well, let me say this before y'all jump in there. This is deep because this could be a whole 30-minute conversation right here. My mentor, Mattress Mac, used to always say this: don't confuse activity with accomplishment. Right? However, that's a slippery slope. I'm gonna tell you why. Sometimes when you overanalyze, you wind up doing nothing. And he also said everything works and nothing doesn't. So I used to, when I first hit the market, 9-10 years ago now, well, it'll be 10 years in July. But I used to hit open houses. I used to do 20 a week just to meet new realtors. Then, 2 years, I'm meeting a lot of newbies. Is this really effective? Let me trim it down and try to, but I was still hitting 3 to 4 or 5 deals. It was working. But when I started to try to analyze it, overanalyze, the activity stopped, but also the yield stopped. So it's dangerous. I don't know. I struggle with that because it's like activity sometimes yield good things.
Can I spin off that real fast?
Yeah. That's why I said this could be a back and forth 30 minutes.
Yeah, even if it's not that effective,
right?
An object in motion stays in motion. If you at least do something,
right?
Now you feel like, hey, I accomplished something. Let me do something else, and then let me do something else. And even if the first 1, 2, 3, 5 things didn't work great, you're in momentum mode now, and now you're more proficient with your time. You're accelerating. You are getting more efficient. And then as you do it, you figure out what works and what doesn't. So you're like, I can replace this. I can get rid of this. I should do more of this. But if you're not even doing anything, how would you know? How you won't have those moments of realization to know. Is streaming the way to go?
Is this working? Yeah.
Some people say yes. Some people say no. Some people have ridiculous followings and are blowing up on this thing.
Mhm.
Others have no idea what this thing even is. Some are doing open houses like crazy and crushing it. Others do open houses never and are crushing it. Like it depends on your circumstances. So that's the thing, is it doesn't really matter what you do. You just got to do something. For me personally, what I've found, what I'm starting to realize more and more is, for me, and I'm only talking about me in the mortgage industry, one-to-one meetings has been my biggest thing that I've been the most successful with, that I'm trying to really grow and build, is one-to-one connections, whether it's another mortgage professional, a realtor, a client, anybody, just one-to-one personalized engaging meetings all day long. Schedule my calendar with that. In my mind, like, that's for me the most efficient, but that works for me. For other people, it might be, you know, drive people to a webinar presentation and do those consistently every single week or every few days. You know, again, you guys are in the real estate industry, other two here. Well, actually, all three of you guys are in the real estate industry technically. So
we're all technically in the real estate industry.
It's a little different in that world than it is in the financial space. Like, it's a little different element, but I think it still shares the same value points of what are you doing that works, and if it works, keep going. If it doesn't, don't do it. And that might be different for different people.
Right.
And you're not going to know what doesn't work if you're not doing anything.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
exactly.
When I first started, I was trying to do everything, and then I started seeing, okay, well, this one works. I mean, I used to go out in Pearland in the hot summer, knocking on doors till I was drenched in sweat. Where I was like, yeah, I don't think this is right for me. So I picked another strategy to use, but you're not going to know it if you don't get out there and do, like you say, do something.
Yeah, something got to be done, because what happens is it could. I'll give you an example. Let's get slightly philosophical before I go to the next one. Why do people make their bed in the morning?
I don't, so I don't know.
Your bed, if you haven't read it, by the way, Make Your Bed. That's a good book.
Right. People make their bed for that sense of accomplishment, because I never could get, all right, I make my bed because I'm about to get back in it in a couple of hours anyway, so why do I need to make it? You know, but since I've been making my bed, even though I might not have, I'm not going anywhere. You know, I work from home. It's a sense of accomplishment. Like David said earlier, alluded to, it's just that those tasks lead to other tasks. So now I'm doing, all right, make my bed in the morning first thing, sense of accomplishment. I got something accomplished. Then I'm gonna do 100 squats.
That's a lot.
Now
yeah. That's all. I would do like 10 and be like, I did it. Good job.
body weight squats. You know, I'll do 100 body weight squats. Boom. Get that going. You know, but once I get that sense of accomplishment, it leads me to want to accomplish other tasks. You know, and so it's by putting those tasks on the calendar that leads to the stuff that you don't want to do, and you get that accomplished. Because what happens is, if you don't make the bed, you don't do anything, it leads to, all right, well, I kick it back, and then it wind up never happening. So it's that activity that can lead to more activity. You know, so you fill up the calendar, maximize your 16. You got 16 hours to be productive. Maximize that 6. That's my, after this, I'm going to the gym, because that's the last thing on my thing. I got 60 minutes to go to the gym. That's my last thing. After this podcast, I'm looking at it right now. Finish the podcast, go to the gym, and I'm done. I did everything I was supposed to do today. It's that sense of accomplishment.
By the way, that comes back around to James Clear, Atomic Habits. If anybody's read or looked into that,
right?
Oh, Atomic Habits, yeah.
Yeah, Atomic Habits. It's one of the it's like the number one bestseller ever in books. But great book. But that's exactly what he says. Do one thing, even if you're not, Dixon here doing 100 squats, I'm thinking to myself, good God, that sounds horrible. But maybe I could do 10, and then I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do 10. And then it's like, well, I'm already doing 10. Maybe I could do 15. Maybe I could do 20. And then, but then you keep going and doing that the next day. Or you put your shoes out. He talks about you're going to go running. So put your running workout clothes and your shoes right there by the door, and then you're probably more likely to go running because they're there. Versus if they're not there, they're not going to remind you. You're not going to think about it. And you're going to be like, oh, where are they again? And, oh, I got other things to do. And your mind's not going to go there. So it's just, yeah, an object in motion stays in motion. Focus on things that you can accomplish and just go make one phone call. Do one event, call one person, do, something. And then it perpetuates.
Gotcha. All right, let's go to the next one. Dumbo, you ain't got nothing on that?
Well, yeah, I'm just waiting my turn. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I got into working, I guess, quote unquote, for myself because I was hungrier than any employer could. They couldn't feed me enough, right? Not literally feed me, but I had more energy than they had work, right? So I think that me personally, I got into, working for myself because I am super hungry. And I think everybody has that hunger that is willing to work for themselves, and also that confidence. But I mean, to be honest, every time I close a deal, I want to close another deal. Like I don't close whether it's a apartment building or a rental. I want to close another deal. So I'm very hungry, right? So I think that it's all about your psyche when it comes to comfort, because I get comfort from doing more business, right? That's what makes me comfortable. It doesn't, So, but that's my 2 cents. I think everybody that's in a service job or have their own business has that hunger, and it's something that you wouldn't think about owning your own business if you didn't have that hunger.
I don't know. That's debatable. That's another show. That's debatable. A lot of people get into it. They open up shop, but they think that's the end. That's where it actually starts. But that's a whole nother conversation. Let's go into this next one. We might circle back if we got some time on that one. Let's go ahead. Can y'all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to this next one.
What's this? It says this is the max rent you should be paying based upon your salary. Now, just so you guys know, for reference, the average American makes about $49,000, which means your rent should be about $1,041. But here's the thing. Of a 1-bedroom apartment in the United States right now is $1,700. That's damn near a 70% increase.
A closet with a stove in it for $4 racks?
Now we gotta talk.
Sharon said this video, I'm about to break down why rent got folks out here needing NBA contracts just to live indoors. Zillow just reported that renters now need to make $80,000 a year just to afford the typical apartment. Now back in 2020, that number was $60K. That's a $20K jump just to not be houseless with vibes. And if you're in NYC, Boston, LA, or Miami, honestly, you need to be making over $100K just to keep rent from eating up more than 30% of your income. Because New York said, hope you like roommates and rats. You'll need $135,000 a year just to live average, not luxury. Average. Boston ain't too far behind with $127,000. Meanwhile, Buffalo's like, hey, we still got rent underneath $1,200. Just bring it jack. NYC $135K, Boston $127K, LA $117K, Miami $112, Buffalo $55K, and Oklahoma City $54. So now folks are stuck between overpriced rent and mortgages that feel like ransom notes. And housing advocates are screaming, but landlords out here playing Monopoly on hard mode. This ain't just a coastal issue either. It's a nationwide wallet whooping. And if you ain't got a plan, rent is gonna eat first, and you might be the meal. Comment below your thoughts on this. Follow your boy Hiller Wiles for more money tips. I don't do this for my health.
I know it's kind of rapid fire there. Did y'all track that?
I did. I thought it was. Maybe I'll go first because he's talking about housing ratios, and that's more of a mortgage finance side of things.
Right.
I'll throw out there that I'm not sure exactly where he's pulling these from for all of the stats for his sources there, but it sounds right about kind of how it's working. There's a lot of people online right now that are going through this where they're showing like what was housing like for ratios back in 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago versus today, and how much money you need to live. And the numbers are clear. Like the math shows you need way more income to survive than you used to. The ratios just don't work. People are literally getting pushed out of home ownership and rentals even due to inflation.
Right.
And arguably, part of the problem we talked about just a little bit ago is become an investor. Go buy an investment property so you can become an investor and take ownership of these properties. But the reality is you're actually contributing to the problem by doing this. Now, granted, if you don't contribute to the problem, you're one of those on the sidelines that are getting taken advantage of. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here. What are you going to do? Are you going to own a home or keep renting? Are you going to be an investor or not? Like, you have the choice, thankfully. It's a wonderful thing is everybody has a choice of what they want to do. But whatever you choose, the market's going to keep doing this. It's going to keep getting wider and wider and wider, I think, as time goes on. It's going to become more and more affordable the way that inflation is working. Wages are not keeping up. Home prices keep going up. Taxes keep going up. Insurance keeps going up. PMI keeps going up. Everything involved keeps increasing. And wages slightly increase, but they're not keeping up. It used to be, kind of an even trajectory. And then suddenly it was, the market kept doing this and wages were doing this. And then all of a sudden it's this gap over time. And that's what I think he's talking about is in all of these different markets, some are more affordable than others, which is why we're seeing mass migration, by the way. That might be a whole nother video topic to go through is mass migration from cities across the country, especially far east and west coasts, to other places like the middle of the US where it's more affordable because people just can't get by in these coastal cities.
Right.
So, he was saying that it's not coastable now because everybody's from the coast is moving in, moving to the center of the country.
Right. A lot of my clients lately I've been talking to are people that are looking to. I've seen an influx in this personally. People looking to move or relocate from one of these places on the coast somewhere into the Midwest. That's become more of my clientele lately. So I think this is a trend that's not going to stop. I think this is going to keep going. We talked about that earlier of, investors continue to buy up Wall Street. It's going to keep just increasing inflation as this happens, and they keep jacking up rents. So I would encourage anybody on the sidelines right now that might be watching this, if you're even remotely thinking of buying a home, you should do it like yesterday. And if you're not doing it yesterday, you should do it today is the next best time. Don't keep waiting, especially since we're not expecting a high increase this year. It's going to likely be stable, we talked about-ish. So buy while you can before it's too late. And more investors keep buying up these houses and you're, stuck in rent.
Right. I always had a controversial take on this.
I love it.
Everybody. Not to everybody, but just to some of the former panelists and stuff like that. They didn't like my take on this. And I'll repeat it again because this is not the first video I've had something similar to this. I like to, piggyback what David said is not going anywhere. So you have to readjust your mind state. So now you can't survive and you can't keep up with the one income. You have to have multiple streams of income. The days are gone when our grandfather worked at a plant and he could raise 3 or 4 kids off the plant salary. That's gone. Now you have to have the plant salary. You have to have an online business. You have to have a catering company. You have to have something else going on as well. 3 or 4 things you have to play. Robinhood, crypto. You got to have 3 or 4 things going, and they have multiple streams of income that you could make from your phone. So now it's set up to, there's more opportunities, but you need them. So those are gone. That we're living idealistic. We're living in 1950 in the mind, but it's 2026. You're not going to be able to, work the 40-hour work week anymore. You're going to have to 40-hour work at work. You're going to probably have to put 5 to 10 hours into a side business and probably have to do Uber on the side as well. That's today's climate. And I don't think it's going anywhere. To your point, David, yes. As far as buying a home, because then people are under some type of hypnotic spell that prices are going to go down.
Yeah.
So the people that's on the sideline waiting, you're going to be priced out. You're going to keep waiting to where is eventually you're going to be a permanent renter. You know, where you can't afford it. Nothing that you do, you can never keep up, and you can never afford a house.
Yeah. And
So
the media is doing a great job doing this too, by the way, of holding people down of, oh, don't buy a house. The market's crashing. It's going to keep going up. Like they're doing a great job holding people at bay intentionally so you don't go buy.
Well, don't forget who owns a lot of the traditional media.
Exactly.
You know, so, you know, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But you know,
we don't want to say the names either, or we'll get shut down.
Right. That's why I preach home ownership, because most of the common folk, this is going to be their biggest investment and biggest asset builder is going to be that home, because it keeps you disciplined. You're going to pay your mortgage, and that asset is going to appreciate. You know, so most people are not savvy enough. The majority of people are not savvy enough to have different investments that's going to yield a margin. So this house is their nest egg. You know, people that like our grandfathers, they bought these houses in the 40s and the 50s for $15,000, $10,000, and they were a few $100,000. It could be the same way. You buy this house for $250,000, and a couple of years later, well, down the line 10. I would not say 10, let's say 20, 30 years from now, it's $2 million house. You know, so it can happen again, but you can't wait till it's $2 million house and then you only make, you know, $70,000. It's not gonna work. So again, don't wait to buy real estate, and then wait and and a lot of David, would you agree as well? A lot more of our lender partners are flexible as far as the guidelines are taking side hustles, part-time jobs, gig, PayPal income, so on and so forth.
It's becoming more common. Absolutely. It used to be, it wasn't even a thing. They didn't recognize any of this. Now they're starting to take it on. Like, great example is like one of the loans we can do is we can do cryptocurrency backed lending.
Right.
I don't know if there's any other lender in the country. If there are, there's a couple that can do cryptocurrency backed lending. Like that's a super cool thing we can do that nobody else really can do. But there's so many little weird things like this that come into play that a lot of lenders just aren't equipped to understand how the guidelines work on this. They don't have the lender partners to do that. So there's definitely an element of creativity and understanding and knowledge of the market to know where you can go and what you can do and have access to it to help these families so they can do something like this of figuring out a path that normally wouldn't be possible in any other normal financial space. But if you get creative with the right mortgage professional, the right real estate agent behind you, all of a sudden you're in a house. Right. You can make it happen, but you got to plan this out. It's not just, go click online, like, what are the rates? And then you go apply and it's like, oh, what do I do? And it's like, sorry, you're denied because, you don't have a full-time W-2 wage at the factory, like you said, Dixon. Like, just there's an art to this. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this is where, coming back to the AI thing, this is where I don't think AI is ever going to take over this piece of it completely, because there's a lot of nuance here in how we get from circumstances to solutions, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I'm still skeptical.
Maybe. I might eat my words in 5-10 years here.
Right. Yeah, so, but 3
years.
I think I've done 3. Just to say that, and I'm opening up Dunbar and Barry. I've done 3 loans last year where their part of their income was Uber. And it's easier than you think. To count that, and that could make or break. That could be the difference between the 51.1 to 45 DTI. And DTI, for those that don't know, is debt to income ratio. That's one of the huge proponents of actually getting a loan. If you can't afford it, you're not going to get it. I don't care if you have an 800 credit score. If you make $30,000 a year, you're trying to get a $350,000 home. It's not going to work. You're going to need a cosigner.
But if you go look up on AI, can I use my Uber income?
Right.
It may or may not give you the right answer. And it depends. It depends. There's
Well,
a lot of factors here.
That's the answer you get always. It depends.
Well, here's the thing. I see what you're saying now. You're using it like Google. That's the problem. So there's specific. I don't know if UWM did it, but you could program. Don't forget, it's an aggregate. You could program it with all these nuances, and it will regurgitate once it hears those prompts. That's how you use AI.
Mm-hmm. But that's part of my point is we might know how to use it properly. Like certain professionals are like engaging with it well, but not every professional is. And that's part of where the risk comes in of what we talked about earlier in the other video.
Not even the general public.
Yeah, if you're not staying with the times. And a lot of these clients, though, more importantly, the buyer side, if anybody watching this is a buyer potentially, and you go plug in like, can I use my Uber income? It's going to give you the totally wrong answer.
Right. Well, that's because they're using it like Google.
That's what I'm saying is I'm saying as a buyer, if you're going in saying that, but if we have, understanding and knowledge and resources, this is the balance here. I'm talking about, I'm looking future for it. I'll say this and I'll open up the Dunbar. I know they're patiently waiting. I appreciate your patience. But if you have a build out, if you have a company have a build out, and I'm going to get my AI representative to talk back and forth to my buyer, like it's a loan officer. Hey, can I use my Uber income? Yes, you can use your Uber income. This is what I need from you. Blah, 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 blah. It can spit that right back out at you if you program it to say so. But if a common person, if it's not, can you use it? It's not going to have all of this data in there because you're trying to use it like Google. Now, will it eventually catch up? Yes. But if it's specifically programmed to answer these questions, yes, you can have it spit it back out. Could I make just one little plug too? Is here at Nexa, we've got a few different, partnerships and things that help us grow and help realtors grow too. But one of our platforms is the CRM technology that we have. I know my guy actually told me today that he just launched, and I took a look at it briefly. He just launched inside of the CRM the GPT technology to pull this through, where he's got underwriting and upfront origination and all these different things of GPTs created that have been taken from the industry and kind of like pulled through. So now I can go into my one place, like you're my client. I'm in my CRM taking notes on you. You tell me, hey, I've got this, and this, my Uber income. And I can copy paste that right over in my same CRM into the same GPT. And I can get that inside my own CRM. I don't even have to leave.
Right.
Because
I was telling Dumbo about that earlier. I was telling Dumbo I was setting up my CRM earlier for Maxim.
Super cool.
So y'all, who want to go first?
No, I was just going to agree that you definitely. I mean, you're going to need more income. I mean, that's you got it's got to come from somewhere. And like I said, also when you're talking about it's not just a coastal thing, it is a coastal. It's a lot of coastal because a lot of that is on the coast. I mean, I've sold to a few people that moved from California to Houston, and that they sold at the same kind of house for all close to $1 million, and they can get it down here for $350, $400, and it's bigger, and now they got money in their pocket.
Right.
So those people are coming in, but you do need income. I mean, like, what did it say? Oklahoma City was like 55, I think it said, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but again, you're not getting the scenery and stuff like that. But if you could work remote, that might be a move, for a lot of people. Hey, I'll sacrifice the Miami scenery if I could, double my income by spending less. A penny saved is a penny earned.
Because it's not just the housing. I mean, everything else gonna cost more money. The gas, the food.
Right, exactly. So I mean, the parking, everything else. So I mean, it's good to see you. Dunbar, what you got?
Gonna need you're gonna need more income.
Right. Either way you slice it, wherever you're at. You could be in, Arkansas. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you guys said. And just on top of that, as a person or a professional that deals with potential tenants, sometimes it's even harder to get into a rental home than it is to get a mortgage loan.
Right.
So, I mean, I've seen stipulations where they want a 700 credit score. They want if you have pets, you can't have pets unless you know it's way more restrictive. Like, I mean, on top of it being expensive, it's restrictive as well. So that's my 2 cents.
Right. Another thing is, you know, this is good. That's now you see why streams be like 3 hours and stuff, right?
I know. It's funny if anybody's watching this. I gave Britt Dixon a hard time. I'm like, good God, the first stream I watched was like 3 hours, and I'm like, how?
Right.
And
Right.
then we're on here, and I'm like,
Y'all
I get
getting
it.
ready
I
to
get it.
y'all
I
getting
got
ready to
another
hit my
comment on
bedtime.
that too, by the way.
Right. Well, we got two more clips.
I know.
Right. But I wanted to say this. This is so good because I think the consumers need to hear this. And I think the audience need to hear this. But to Dunbar's point, people buy these, especially if you're renting private houses. You don't know what that looks like till you go there. Then you know, I've been to some luxury houses for rent, you know, to take some clients, and it's full of roaches.
Yeah.
You know, the pictures look good, everything look good, and until you go there and actually touch the house, or it has a horrible stench. You know, or you go down there, you know, you go to the other side, on the other side of the street, there's gang signs and stuff like that.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, I mean, you got
Across
to
the railroad tracks.
right. So it's like, yeah, you know, you can't go by, you know, you can't go by what's on the picture. You can't shop online, you know, and people think it's easier to rent. Actually, it's harder because you know, don't forget they're changing out tenants constantly. And then usually they put these, you know, it's not in the most desirable areas a lot of time in Houston, you know, and if it is, they're charging premium pricing, you know, so it's a lot harder to rent. Now, I'm not knocking rent. If you want to lease, there's certain situations where it's good to lease, you know, but however, the process is harder because you don't know. You don't know what you got. Then what can you do? I gotta go through somebody else. Hey, can y'all bomb it? If it's my own house, all right, we're gonna take this before I even move in. I can do what I wanna. You know, if I'm buying a resale. Let's go to the next one.
Can I, before you do, Dixon, can I just throw one other thing in there just real fast? We don't have to comment on it fully.
Right.
But another key point is people moving from these bigger homes and then downsizing, trying to get someplace cheaper.
Right.
They've got all this equity now to them, and their automatic thought process is, I'm going to put this all into the new house so I have a lower payment.
Mm-hmm.
And now they take 100, 200, 300 grand of equity and they put it into the new house because I want a low payment. That's an option. You could do that, or you could do like 10 other things too. So
right.
Just a recommendation. If you're in this position, you're struggling financially and you're thinking, I want to move from one place to another and find a new location, maybe have a conversation with a mortgage professional and a real estate agent together to just talk through strategy on this to figure out what is the best use of my funds. I got 100 grand. What's the best way to use this money? And then we can help guide on this process so that you maximize your dollars. That'll make this whole thing feel less painful, which is kind of what the whole point of the video was, is the pain of rent and the pain of increasing costs.
Right. Right. Get the professional to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's check this one out. We got two more, and then let's roll out. All right, here we go. Can y'all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right.
America actually earn $100,000 a year. Social media is going to make you think everyone in America is earning $100,000 a year, and you're just the only person that isn't. But when you actually look at the data, it's pretty fascinating. 77% of Americans will never make more than $100,000. What's even more interesting is when you actually break that data down by age. For workers between 18 and 24, only 7% of them will ever hit $100,000. Between 25 and 34, 18% of them can get to $100,000. The peak actually comes between 35 and 40 44-year-olds, with 25% of them, 1 in every 4, earning 6 figures. From ages 45 to 54, we see a slight decline back down to 20% of people making over 100,000. And for 55 and older, only 16% of people will make more than 6 figures. But what's fascinating is $100,000 is not what it was 20 years ago. If you make $100,000, you are likely bringing home somewhere between $5,500 and $6,000 a month after taxes. Now, $5,500 may sound like a decent amount of money, but if you start looking at the average mortgage being over $2,000, the average car payment being over $700, you quickly realize how come most people making 6 figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. How much you make is not the indicator of whether you be a millionaire. I know people that are making $250,000 a year that are living paycheck to paycheck and broke, and I know millionaires that are making $80,000 a year. Real wealth is not actually created by your income, it's created by how much you invest. Now, yes, it's easier to invest more the more money you make, but that doesn't mean the only path to being a millionaire is making exponentially more money. Keep your expenses low, invest as much as you can, use compound interest on your side, and live in an area that allows you to do those first 3. Sometimes I look at this type of data and I think there's no way this is true. So many people on social media portray a lifestyle of making 6 figures when in actuality, less than 1 in 4 actually are. Would love to know your thoughts down below. Do you think that more people are making that much? Super curious to know. And as always, if you're looking to grow your net worth, follow me.
Yeah, we know social media is a fraud. If you go by it, all these people, you think not $100,000, you think that they all millionaires the way they get on social media.
Right. Well, yeah, a lot of people, that's a thing. That's a new business as well. Actually, I got this banner or this timer on here. People that rent stuff to influence to make them look rich. That's a new business model. They rent cars, they rent houses, they rent stuff, clothes and everything to the social media streamers to make them look rich.
There's a dealership down here that you can rent these high-end cars down by the Galleria.
Yeah, for sure.
Rent it for a day or so, take you some pictures or a video, and
you got content all year.
AI to create or fictitiously make your car and house in the background, and then
that's true too. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right, but this I want to tackle this first because this could go a lot of different ways, especially in the battle of the genders, as well. A lot of females think that a lot of more people make $100,000 a year than they do, and it's less than, like I said, 1 out of 4 in reality. Do people portray that like you said? Yes. I think a lot of people portray that they make a lot more than they do actually, and especially with workers. I think the caveat, I think what's happening is I think they confuse, like, it's compounding. Business, all right, I got a business on the side, plus I do this. That together equals the $100,000 a year. I think that's what the data doesn't tell. And I think that's where a lot of misconception is. I think that's why a lot of people in society, especially in the Western, that people think a lot more people make 6 figures, but they're compounding different things in order to make that happen. Some legal, some illegal.
You're saying in the stats they're only taking certain verified demographics into account.
Well,
they're not realizing all the other stuff.
Well, they're not taking under the table money. So for example, most people don't keep good books. They have a business, but they don't keep it on record. So on record, they look like they're not making anything through their business, but they only make $60K at their job. So in reality, he makes $50,000 under the table and he makes $60,000 from the job, and together they're making $100K. And I think that's what confuses people.
Or to your point, they also, which you and I have both had happen before, they might make $1 million a year,
right?
And then they have a really good CPA that finds every tax loophole there is, and they show net zero at the end of the year, exactly to the penny.
Right. Correct.
So they show zero.
Right.
But we all know they probably have more than that they somehow kept in another way, right?
Right. And I think that's a lot of people, because don't forget this particular country, especially tax-wise, is set up for the business owner. And most business owners a lot of them don't keep great books, And then second tier, if you're real savvy, you're not going to you're going to write off everything that you can. So I have somebody right now that makes $250,000 a year, and by the time you write everything off, it's only $55,000. So he would fall under that stat, you know. But however, he got that money flowing. If we do a bank statement loan, I got plenty of money coming in, and so that what gives people the misconception that everybody's making a lot of money, but on the books they're not.
So I want to make sure, is your argument that his stats are too low, that there's more people making more money than he's saying?
I think that's a part that they don't take in consideration. And I think it's about that. I think it's true as far as workers. Get what he said. He said as far as workers. Yes,
So
I think
they might just be looking at W-2s.
Right. They're looking at W-2 income. You know, that
like if that person owns a business too or something.
Right.
They're not taking that into account.
Right. And I think people are not considering the compounding. And we all know, like from even in high school, most of the people worked at Popeyes are not just doing Popeyes. You know, that's not their primary income. It's a cover job. You know, so they work 20 hours at Popeyes to look like, so nobody when they get pulled over, they don't look like, well, you don't have a job. How you have this Camaro? You know, so you know, so most people that's working at these jobs, they're doing so just to have something on the books. You know, so that's in consideration as far as under the table money and businesses, catering, stuff like that, where they don't do proper taxes. Right. And it's not recorded.
And then you have a lot of cash businesses. I mean, like barbers. Right. You know, barbers make money, but it's mostly cash.
Right. So you got barbers, musicians, you know, right, that they definitely don't report exactly what they're making.
I think part of the video point too, though, was regardless of the income being made, there's a perception in the world that has been perpetuated by social media of everybody thinks everybody's killing it, right? Because of the image they're portraying. When in reality, they have not closed anything this whole year in real estate or mortgage or whatever profession they're in. They're not killing it. They're not doing great, but they make it look like they are because they hired the right person or they happen to know how to use CapCut on social media or whatever it is. So there's an element here of perception, I think, is true. Also, I agree to your point, Dixon, on just people live within their means. Like, and people will always adapt to their means, whatever they are. Like if you're making $50,000 a year, you're barely surviving. The moment you get to $100,000 a year, you've made it. And you're going to go buy that new car or buy that new house suddenly because you're ready to go. And, you know, you can afford to go out to that nice dinner and like all of a sudden, or create a nice, beautiful new home office that, you know, you probably shouldn't have done, but looks pretty. You know, you do stuff like this. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, shoot, now I have credit card debt. Now I got a personal loan. I need to take out a home equity line of credit. I need to refinance my mortgage. We need to sell our house and sell our house in California and move to Houston. Right. Because I need to afford something cheaper because I can't keep up with the payments. Right. So people try to live within their means and they're always going to keep going with this. And it's funny how that happens. Like, I'm not going to like call out any names, but like I know people literally making over $1 million a year that are barely getting by. Because that's just the lifestyle they've created. Right. So I think it's all relative, but yes, I think if you can just live a simple life, live within your means, try to focus on keeping yourself out of debt, saving money, having a liquid emergency fund, all these things that we all know, like nobody needs to tell you, right? Like you don't want somebody tells you, you're like, I know. Like I've heard this 1,000 times. Like my parents taught me that, my grandparents, like I see it on social media, like everybody knows this. But do it. And remember, don't compare yourself to the Joneses down the street. Like don't constantly compare yourself. Like, forget about them. Forget about them. Just focus on you and your family, because your circumstances are different than theirs. And if they do have all that stuff down the street and they're in the same neighborhood,
They probably going through the same thing.
they're probably going through the same thing. Exactly. Or far worse than you.
Putting on a facade.
I think before Dunbar get in there, I think the older you get, the more that, you know, your frontal lobe or your brain develops where you understand that. You know, I realized that. I realized that when I was talking to my daughter. This was like, she was a teenager. This was over like 12 years ago. Yeah, my daughter's almost 30 years old. I'm getting up there. You know what I mean? So, but I was talking, I think she was 15 or so, and she was talking about something that happened embarrassing in class or something like that. I'm like, most people, they're not going to notice anything, and if they do, they're going to forget it by tomorrow. They're so wrapped up in what they got, you know. They don't have time to pay attention to you, you know, and they're not going to. And if they're paying that much attention, that's actually a good thing, because they're actually enamored. I mean, they're flattered. I mean, not flattered, but they're infatuated with you, you know, if they're paying that much attention. So that says something about them, not you, you know. So. And she was like, wow, I never thought about it that way. And I'm saying that to say this is that high school mind where you think people are looking at you that way, I gotta actually do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. They're not. Nobody cares. And you think you got to get all this stuff to keep up. You don't, because nobody's really paying attention.
Yep.
And, you know, but you don't realize that till you like 30, 40, like, damn, why did I didn't realize this. Like, damn, why I get this
45?
Why I get this big ass house, man? Like, I don't have company over like that. Nobody's looking at it. Who cares about it? Why am I getting all this stupid stuff? Nobody cares. And it doesn't dawn on you till later in life that nobody's paying more attention to you than yourself.
Yep. I know a lot of really successful realtors, by the way, right now, especially, that might have even gotten into the investing space. And they're like, you know what? I'm getting rid of some of my houses. I'm going to cash out some of these things. I'm going to make myself whole, pay off some debt, simplify my life. Like, I respect that. I get it. Like, everyone's got a different game they're playing. Some are at a higher level, but whatever level you're playing at, keep your life simple. Focus on what you need to do to make sure you're financially taken care of day by day. And if you don't know what to do, get a plan to get yourself into a good financial position.
Right. Double, what you got? We got two more left, and then we done two short
There
ones.
was one more left. You said two more after that.
Well, one is the motivation where we kick off. Like, yeah. Yeah. So one is a regular skit. I mean, one is a regular, one is a motivation to go into next week. So it's like 1.5.
Yeah, I think that it's highly unlikely these days that you have one stream of income and you are able to make $100K or feel a little bit comfortable. So I think y'all pretty much hit it on the head. Especially it's compounding incomes that you know that drive somebody to make $100K on paper.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And you did the kind of same thing. You're a scientist at NASA as well, and then you did real estate on the side for years and years. And those two combined, you know, net you to where you wanted to be. Correct.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. That's why I'm speaking from experience on this one.
Right, exactly. I mean, all of us compound. Like I said, all of us a compound thing. Let's get to this last one. I know the Barry B is past. I got to go hit this gym too. So gym is 30 minutes away. So, you know, I want to get to bed before 1 o'clock. You know, so I'm going to hit the gym for an hour.
I can't believe you're going to do that, but I love it.
I have a lot of money. I used to invest in these areas that were really not well off, and you kind of see this pattern with like the language of the poor, people who are never able to own houses, like people who have struggled paying rent. This is their language, the language that they speak. And it's interesting because when I talk to them, I have to change my entire mindset. When I talk to them and engage with people who are from this mindset and or from these places, if I'm out in the wild and I see people like this, I have to mirror match, because I can't come at them the way I would come at someone who is equal to me in terms of financial success and mindset, right? This is a different mindset. This is a mindset of someone who is consistently poor, and it's a language. The language that they speak is very, very reactive, as in things are happening to them and they can't do anything about it. It's this constant mindset and thus language of saying things like, well, you know how it is. I've never paid a living wage. Well, you know how it is. Inflation is just out of control. I'll never be able to afford whatever. It's always like this negative, like, and I always have to mirror match, even though I totally don't agree with any of it. And oh, you know, it's just hard these days. I'm never going to reach those things. Nobody can. It's impossible. I literally have to like, totally. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, how could anyone survive in this current climate? I can't say the truth. I can't say the truth. Well, actually, here's what you can do. Well, actually, here's what you can do. Well, actually, this is what you, I can't be that person, because that's not what they want to hear. They don't want solutions. Solutions are just more problems, because it means that they actually have to take action and change the way that they think and the way that they act. It's much easier to just be consistently victimized, because once you're a victim and you're really comfortable being a victim of your circumstances, that's your identity. That's your language. That's how you talk. Right? I see it all the time with job seekers, people that are angry at recruiters. I'm a recruiter by trade. And I see people all the time be like, well, recruiters never get back to you. And all the jobs are given to the immigrants. And all these H-1B holders are taking all the good jobs. Like, that's the language. That's the language of the have-nots. Right? So when you hear that language, you can, all you can say is pat them on their back and be like, I hear you, and move on, because they will never, ever see or do anything about it. They will never see solutions, and they will never take action to solve their own problem. This is a poverty of the mind. This is what it really is.
This is deep. So for time's sake, you know, I don't want to go too deep with it, but this is a deep this is a deep subject. This could be a whole podcast within itself.
We should have Dunbar go first, because he's been always last.
Right. So Dunbar, go ahead first. Go first on that.
Yeah. Yes.
Or Barry, and then come back.
It's fine. No, it's totally fine. So I maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, we were talking about. I mentioned that people who own a house, whether they be 18 or 40, it's probably because their parents owned the house and their parents' parents owned the house, so they know that it's achievable, right? But if you are the one that have to break the chain and get to something that nobody else has done, you know, in the past, then it's a mindset. It's a mindset from knowing you can do it because you saw somebody do it, or thinking you can't do it because you never saw anybody did that was able to accomplish those things. So I do think home buying is a mindset. And you have to have some experience back. You have to have some experience or somebody you can lean on from the past to get over the hump of today's economy and stuff like that. So yeah, I think poor is a mindset for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Chappelle, but back in an earlier thing that he did, he talked about his dad, and he was complaining about he wanted to get stuff, and his dad was like, "No, we can't afford it." And he was saying, "Man, I hate being poor." And he said his dad he said he'll never forget his dad told him, "We're not poor. Poor is a mindset. We're just broke. Broke is temporary." Mm-hmm. And he was like, he never forgot that. Poor is a mindset. Broke, yeah, we ain't got no money. We broke, but that's just temporary.
Right.
But yeah, that poor mindset, like she said, that they really don't want solutions, because if you give them a solution, that means they got to go and do something.
Right. Right.
It's victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think what we call it, victim mentality. You automatically, I'm the victim, I'm hurting. This is my problem, and this is why, and this person did this to me, and this one did this to me, and there's always some excuse. And I think we all can play this potentially in our lives, but if you're constantly in that space of I am in this situation because of XYZ and there's no way out, and you're justifying and telling yourself this on repeat all the time, it makes it a lot harder to get out of that or break free from that mental mindset. So having that thought process of, no, I can change this. I don't have to stay here. I can go do something completely different over here and change it. But that takes good support, reading the right things, listening to the right things, doing the right things to help yourself get there. And I mean, that's a whole nother level of, mentality and personality and habits. And I mean, all this other stuff that goes into it. But I just think victim mentality is very, very strong. And coming back to one of the last videos, part of this, I think, is intentional by the media. Mm-hmm. It's intentionally trying to create a victim mentality. Because if everybody's a victim of everyone's against me, there's no point. I can't buy a house. I can't get wealthy. I can't build an income. Well, guess what? That's exactly what they want you to do. Stay there and do nothing.
Now you're starting to get the connection of the video.
Exactly. Right. And if you just change the mindset and try a little bit, that one step forward, make your bed, like we talked about earlier, right. Build that momentum, and all of a sudden now you can change it. So that's my thought, just victim mentality, summarizing that point or that video.
Right. This is deep because I did a podcast years ago. This when we were talking way more philosophical on the Power of Ownership podcast. And with my friend of mine, my brother, Stephen Contreras, I know he moved. He's a scientist as well. He moved to New Mexico. I think he got engaged or something like that, but he stopped doing the show. But anyway, we talked about, are you in a situation that you're in because you deep down you want to be in that situation? Because think about it. This goes to the video that we talked about earlier. Your habits dictate who you are. Your values dictate where your circumstance is. Is it that you like losing more than you like winning? You really got to answer that, because winning requires X, Y, Z, and you really don't want to do that. You really want to do this, and this what comes with this, and your cope is it's happening to me. Not because it's happening because of me. You see?
Can I share? I'm also guilty of this, and I'm going to bet every one of us here are too, to an extent of we think to ourselves, I want to make more. Why isn't this working? And then, but did I make, to your point earlier, Dixon, did I make 30 calls in that hour that I said I was going to make calls for? Mm-hmm. Did I schedule that one-to-one with that person? Did I go to that networking event? Did I do that open house? Did I put that video out there? Did I do the thing I said I was going to do? Well, if you didn't, then too bad.
It's deeper than that. Do you want to be broke? Do you want to be poor? Do you want to be? Is it deep down? Does being poor and the excuse in the story, the language that she said, does that feel better than the victory? So you really got to ask yourself, hey, do I like losing? Because if you look at winners, look at some of the sports. I don't know if y'all seen that interview that they had Roy Jones Jr., they had Michael Jordan, they had Serena Williams, they had all these people on the panel. All of them had one thing in common. They said they hate losing. They're so competitive that they hate losing. So, but you're going to do, and I just put this on my social media, to be great, you have to be comfortable with doing the reps when nobody's around to clap. Right now, nobody's in the gym. Nobody's here where I can take selfies and do that.
No. They are now. It's January 5th, so they're in there now.
People in there now.
Right. But my thing is, it's the dirty work. It's the repetition. It's the things that like making your bed where it really don't matter. It's those activities that allow you to move the universe, that allows you to do things that you think you couldn't do. You know, so that's the sum up what we were talking about this whole conversation is that let's talk about ownership. Own yourself first. Then you can own a home. Then you can own your life. I can own my finances. And this is the power, but it starts with you. You got to own yourself first. All right, really evaluate yourself. Do I really like poverty? Do I really like underachieving? Because it feels comfortable. I like doing this, but does this yield me the results that I want? And if it doesn't, then you really got to get yourself up and do the activities that do yield the output that you want.
Exactly. Can I also just comment?
Right.
You don't have to be Michael Jordan.
Right.
If you're college level or above, that's still cool, right? Like you still have to work really, really hard to get into any of these levels. You don't have to be Michael Jordan. You don't have to be the best, but you also don't have to sit completely in the top row nosebleed audience section, doing absolutely nothing either.
Or on the couch, or
on the
at
couch.
the job in the
Not
cubicle.
even going to the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Or still in the bed.
Didn't even show up. So show up, do something. You don't have to, because in my mind, I'm such a perfectionist. I got to be Michael Jordan, and I beat myself up if I'm not. So you don't have to be. I tell myself this every day. You don't have to be that level. You can just do well and move forward each day with those goals.
Right. So this to sum it up on what I was saying is that start that new business in 2026. Start that side venture. Open that online store that you were going to open that business. Do what you got to do to yield what you need to yield. It's the new year, new me. It's the perfect way to start off the New Year show. Is that to sum it up? Things are not getting any cheaper.
And
we all
if
agree with that.
If you're gonna do that,
right?
Call your really good mortgage advisor, and if you don't have one, get one to talk through what you're thinking of doing, so that we can get ahead of this.
Right.
So that we can get you into that house, get you out of renting, all that stuff too that we talked about earlier.
Right. So whatever you need to do it this year. And then do it consistently. You know, so because what happens is it's not going to change. Inflation is there's no such how many in history where was there ever deflation besides right before a country was about to go bankrupt?
Well, housing, I don't know if you guys know this, housing wise, since they've been tracking it, we could do this in another video where I could actually pull up the stat probably, but in housing, of the last like 87 years or something like that, they've been tracking it.
Right.
There have been 5 years, 5 out of the 87, 88 years they've been tracking it, that it didn't go up.
Right.
And of those 5, 3 of them were flat, 2 went down. And they were only during the Great Recession where there was no regulation, the banks got away from everything, and then they quickly fixed it to the point where now there's so much regulation, we're trying to deregulate that. So again, 5 years, I think is what it is. Out of the entire history they've been tracking it, it has not gone up. So of all, like if you could bet on anything in the entire world for increase in inflation, housing's probably your best, safest bet across the entire world of investing.
Right. And that's why it's a good investment, because most likely it's going to go up.
You know, everybody needs somewhere to stay.
By the way, that stat came from Barry Habib at MBS Highway, which I think you said isn't that the next video?
No, it's not. This is.
I thought you commented that was one of the videos tonight.
This is Sarah Papa's is the last video.
Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. But if you're listening to this and you're watching, Barry Habib is amazing. Look him up online. He's an incredible person to follow. So,
but yeah, you could best bet that it's going to go up. So those that's listening to the media, that's sitting there waiting on some kind of way where houses go down, are you waiting for this $30,000 house to pop up that somebody can't pay the bill? It's not going to happen. Barry, I promise this is the last one. This is our last our motivational last little half video.
It's funny. I'm staying up. You're going to the gym, Dixon. Barry's going to bed.
Well,
I'm already dead.
I'm back to my old schedule now. I'm back to the busy bee.
I'll be up at 5 in the morning.
2026. I took my years off, so I'm back at it. I'm back at it this year.
First sign, they hate rules. Love pushing against the boundaries, and they love asking questions and challenging the status quo. Average people are good at following rules and giving assignments and executing them. Sign 2, really successful people take action quick. The most successful entrepreneurs I've ever met are the quickest to get back to me in messages. And sign number 3, someone's going to be successful, is nothing's ever good enough. Always asking what's next, can they improve, and how can they get better? 3 signs, someone's going to be successful. First sign, they hate rules. Love pushing the boundaries, and they love asking questions and challenging the status quo. Average people are good at following rules and giving assignments and executing them. Sign 2, really successful people take action quick. The most successful entrepreneurs I've ever met are the quickest to get back to me in messages. And sign number 3, someone's going to be successful, is nothing's ever good enough. Always asking what's next, can they improve, and how can they get better? 3 signs, someone's going to be successful. First sign, they hate rules.
All right, so I'll go last on this, and whoever want to go first.
Please, one of you guys go first. I love this video for what it's worth.
Yeah, I like that. Take action. I don't know if you ever heard of John Hope Bryant. He talks something about this, like, rich people or wealthy people, they talk about ideas. And like she said, what's the next thing? People that don't have money like talk about other people.
Right. Talk about things.
They talk about things.
People and things.
Always trying to get better.
Right.
Talk about ideas and take action. That's going back to do something when we talked about earlier. Do something.
Right.
I think it is true what she's saying. I would also add that I think that most people that are successful are delusional because they don't think that they can fail. And it just goes back to, this mindset. Like, if you don't think you can fail, then you probably are going to, if you do fail, you're going to try the hardest to make up for that and to be, a person who doesn't take no for an answer. I would say I agree with all that, and I would say, yeah, I think the will to not fail is also something that you see successful people have.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. David, you want to go in? I want to take last on this, so I have the last word.
You want to take last, Dixon.
Right.
There's an art to that, by the way.
Right.
So I think 1 and 3 are the same, right? It's basically just simply saying the same thing of people that are going to be successful are going to push the norm. They're going to challenge expectations. They're going to always be looking outside of the box. They're not stuck in the box. They're looking outside of it. So funny enough, what she's describing here, like, I'm literally like, I want to find her and hug her and be like, thank you for sharing this. This is exactly me. Because this is like right now, as an example, at our company, I had a meeting last week with one of our C-level executives, and I have a meeting here coming up this week that he asked me, please, can we keep having these meetings? Because there's so many little things that no one's ever brought to anybody's attention that they don't even realize could be remedied to make things easier for people that no one's ever thought of. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, let's challenge this. We're doing it this way. We've done it this way for how long, but why are we doing it this way? What if we did it this way and that talked to this and this did this and this did that? And if we did it this way, then that would save an hour per week for every loan originator at our company by taking this away from them. What would 3,500 hours a week look like for the company? Because that's how many LOs we have. 1 hour a week given back. What would that look like is how I challenge this. Given back to them. Look like for production for the company. And he's like, dude, you're totally like, let's keep going. So like we're actually, I brought my whole team into this. Like we're building this out and I'm challenging this. And funny thing is, I don't get paid a single dime on this thing, but I love this stuff. I love being able to do this because not only does it help me, but I know it's going to help everybody here at my company, including you, Dixon, that is tied to my company as well. We all are going to benefit. There's so many benefits. And most importantly, this trickles down to the client. The family is going to save money and we're going to help them more because of the solutions created. So in this video about efficiencies, creating efficiencies, how do you recognize a good, exactly, 3 signs you'll be successful? How do you recognize a good person that's going to help you be successful in your company? Look at those willing to challenge this, challenge the outside of the box thinking. And this sounds super simple, but I love her middle point. They message you back. Like that sounds like the stupidest, most simple thing in the world to me of you actually replied to the message.
Right.
And that tells me you're probably a good person that's going to be successful. Like, wait, that's par for the course right now? You reply to a message? That's a sign of being successful. But the sad reality is that is exactly what happens. All day long, I am talking to people of all different demographics, professionals and clients together. I'm going to argue, by the way, the professionals are the bigger problem. The clients reply. The professionals don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the professionals are the ones that we have to chase and be like, dude, go do your job. Reply to me. Talk to me. I'm trying to give you gold. I'm trying to help you here. And you won't reply. That's the kind of stuff we deal with on point 2 that she brought up. So I'm just like, okay, so do your job and reply, and don't just accept everything you're given, summing it down from 3 points to 2, and challenge it if it doesn't make sense. Like figure out solutions, talk about this, strategize together on like, well, that's an idea, but could we do it better over here? I just, this to me, this whole thing is just common sense, and I'm just like, wow, this is
not
frustrating. It's not common sense.
I don't think if it was common sense, everybody would be successful.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, it's not common sense. And to piggyback your point, let's start with 2. Let me start with 2, and that's because that's so important, and that's like the making the bed. It's one of those activities that's going to be a key identifier in the type of person, especially in business. Dumbo, I promise you're going to want to hear this. You know what I'm saying? Not that you don't do it. And I'm not saying you do it. You know, you're responsive. But this is one of those key teaching moments. My mentor, Mattress Mac, who's almost a billionaire. He's probably a billionaire. I think if you Google him, he'll probably say 350 million, but he's really a billionaire. You know, probably off the book with his portfolio and stuff like that. I could call him right now, and he will answer the phone. Right now. I call him 3 a.m. He will answer the phone right then. You know, that's why I say 24/7. He is married to the business. He is the business. You know, and to your point, these professionals that want to, Trump works his own social media. You know, this is the president, and they got people that's barely closing 5 to 10 transactions. Now all of a sudden you're too good to answer your phone or to message people back. That's the signs of broke. That's the sign that this is more important. This comfort is more important than actually doing an activity that make you money. And this is why I put this last, because this is super duper important. There's internal and external customers. Internal customers is your colleagues, the people that can make you money. External is your client itself, right? So how can you ignore your internal customers and be successful in business? You know, I got realtors that will not message me back. And I might have a deal for them. Like when I do have referrals, I call whoever picks up first. That's who I'm gonna get a referral to.
Isn't that the best call to make, by the way, Dixon?
Right.
Just like,
right.
hey, I'm literally trying to hand you like 5-10 grand,
and they won't answer the phone. They don't answer the phone. It's crazy. Blows my mind. You're in business.
Yep.
Or they don't answer the email. They answer the email or DM 10 days later, a month later. Too late, dude.
Can I make one argument to this point?
Right.
People love and want commitment, dedication, empathy, care. If I'm like, hey guys, I got another call, I'm going to check out right now. How are you guys going to feel about that? Like, as important as it is, you're going to be like, oh, I guess David had to go. There's a balance here too. If you're actually doing important things, I think the key here is acknowledging all communications all the time and then communicating. You may not be able to reach me at 3 a.m. because I probably will be asleep and I will not have my phone on. It will be on Do Not Disturb. It will not come to me. But the moment I wake up and I see that, I'm going to send a text saying, hey, I need to take care of a couple things. The moment I get a chance, I'm going to reach back out to you. Give me a sec. What's your availability? Can I call you in an hour? Like, the key is get back to everyone, acknowledge the information, text them back, call them back, audio notes. By the way, I'm just coming around to that now, by the way, is send an audio note, not a voicemail, but an audio note. Record your voice, send that as a text. That way it's not a call, but they can hear your voice and you can walk them through and explain it, and you can send it as a text. Like, acknowledge and communicate, even if the communication is simply, I can't answer right now. I'm busy for the next 7 hours. At least they know. And they can understand, like, oh, that's cool. And then they're good. And then we'll talk in 7 hours.
Gotcha. Now, just to get back to what I was saying, as far as
yeah,
this is a segue back. It's just as far as the mindset of people in business that, hey, this tells me a lot about you, that you don't take this serious because of the time that you get back. You think you're more important than you are. This guy, my mentor, is almost a billionaire, and he answers his phone. This guy, that's the president of the United States, does his own social media. Still works on social. People think it's amazing to me that people in our profession think they're too good for social media. And you got the president of the United States works his own social media. He before he got banned on, I think he does Truth Social, but he used to do all his tweets and all that. That used to be a thing in 2016, 17. So my point is that any avenue that you have to make money, and you choose the comfort, you choose to ignore it over actually running to it. And that's what my mentor used to say all the time. He said, don't run from it, Dixon, run to it. Don't run from it, run to it. And that was his attitude. He's not running from these calls. I don't need anybody screening. In fact, he jumped on me one time. I seen he was busy. I thought I was being helpful. I'm like, yeah, he's busy. Let me take a message. He said, don't ever do that. Give me I don't need nobody screening for me. So he wants all the smoke. If it's a smoke call, he wants it. If it's a BS call, somebody asking for money, he wants it. Don't run from it, run to it.
Yep. So
what that shows is that it shows that you're fully engaged in your business and people want to be around that. Dunbar, how long has it been? How many times? Probably in what has it been 9 years that you've known me or something like that? Close to that.
Yeah.
How many times you hear my voicemail?
1 out of 20.
You very seldomly hear my voicemail, and a lot of times, even if I'm on that call, like you said earlier, David, I'll click over. Hey, hold on a second. Let me catch this. Hey, I'm on the line with a call. Let me call you right back. I'll call you back in 20 minutes. Boom. I'm going to still acknowledge you on the call, and you don't go to my voicemail. Voicemails, if I got 3-4 calls coming in at the same time, you might get that. You know, so but
Or, by the way, I don't know if people know this. By the way, you have an ability on your phone. You can set a auto text.
Right.
You can swipe, and you can actually have it. You can edit that.
Right.
I legitimately don't think anybody watching this would know. You can edit that to say like, I'm on another call right now, but I will call you back immediately as soon as I'm off.
I got
or,
that.
Hey, can you text me because I'm not in a place I can talk right now, but your call is important. I want to text you. Like whatever you want to say, build those text demographics. That's what I do. Like if somebody calls, I've got a list of all the different kinds of texts I can send back to them on my phone that says, I can't text now because I'm in a different place that I can't take any text or calls, or I can text, or I'll call you back soon.
Well, don't forget, we're not I'm talking the literal action, but we're talking on a bigger note. Just like making a bed, we're not talking about actually making the bed. We go make the bed. However, it's the fact that you made the bed is the keeps the action. It's the fact that I'm answering you and showing that I'm in the game.
Exactly.
So
you follow through though, and you call them back immediately if there's any reason you cannot answer the call.
Right. So we're talking philosophically as far as just, hey, I'm in the game, I'm engaged, I'm calling you right back because I'm all about my business. And then, like I said, just wrapping it up as far as, because I know we kind of veered off a little bit. Just wrapping it up. The first two that you say, you can merge those together. Challenging the status quo as far as not taking what you're supposed to be doing as an answer, and then always trying to get better. That's what Mac always taught me is like, I could sit here and just sit at the house and do what I've always done. But there's something inside of me that wants to get better and I still haven't made the President's Club and certain goals and stuff like that I want to hit. So I always try to get better. And that's not a common thing because most people, the average Joe, 51% or more, the average population, they looking for the next vacation. They want as least as possible. They want to be as comfortable as possible. They want the path of least resistance. Again, their values show otherwise. They say they want this, but they want another. And with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up for today. I know Barry, the mind's getting heavy. You got the 2 picks.
You had a motivational video at the end, I thought, Dixon.
That was it. That was it.
Oh, that was the one. Okay, never mind.
If that diatribe doesn't motivate you to take action, this whole thing about taking action and actually doing something and actually getting in the game and doing something, I don't know what will. You might be looking at the wrong podcast, because if that don't motivate you, nothing will. The little things are the big things.
Agreed. 100%.
Right.
Always a pleasure with you guys. Good content today. Loved the back and forth, and I hope anybody watching took something away with this. Don't forget too, by the way, all of our information is here on our profiles. So if you want to take away, the websites, the handles, all of that, please follow us, share this on your social media pages, like us, follow us. We really want to try to make sure that this information masses here and can help more families in the process and go from there.
Right. Stay on for 5 minutes, David, after the stream. I want to show you a couple of things in the
absolutely. Please. Thank you.
All right, fellas. All right, now.
All right. Have a good night.
All right.